What's up, Lego builders? Welcome back to Coconut Brick Studios for my 2023 Lego room. Oh crap, wrong room. Okay, I double checked. This is the right room, but welcome to the final tour of my dream Lego room. Okay, starting over here, we've got not the most exciting part of the Lego room, but this is where my bulk or deep storage is. As you guys know, I like to sort my parts by color and by piece, but I have a lot of just random pieces like this, or like these, where I only have one or two of them. And so here I just put all the colors, just random pieces together, and then I've also got bins of filler brick in here, and then pieces like these trans clear parts and these slopes where I've just got too many and it would fill too many of my smaller red bins, so it just makes more sense to keep them in these big ones. This is where I put stuff to forget about it until I need it, basically. I've got some smaller ones up here for parts that I just have less of, yellow, gold. And then right here we have one of my rare non-Lego Star Wars sets, the Blacksmith Shop, which I actually really like. I'd like to get another one someday sealed. And then over here we've got what I call the vintage section, because this is where I keep my mocs from when I was a kid. I built a Bradley, I've got a main battle tank over there, a little Willys Jeep, and then back here we've got like a little artillery cannon from World War II. I used to be really big, well I guess I still am, into like military, especially the World Wars, so I like to keep this stuff around to remember the good old days. Down here we've got a couple of turbo tanks, which honestly are probably my least favorite Clone Wars vehicles I own. Then I've got some books. I'm big into personal development and just, learning new stuff. I've got a book I got Kobe Bryant's book, which is really good, Mamba Mentality. Then down here we've got the more Star Wars oriented side of my book collection. I've got this minifig encyclopedia. It's got a little white Jango Fett in it, which is pretty cool. And then that's pretty much it for this. It's all on an IKEA shelf. I like to call IKEA the Lego of the furniture world for, us Lego fans, because so many of us use it. It's just so great because you can buy stuff like this and it's a nice shelf ready to go, or you can buy stuff like this Ivar system and basically build your own mock of a shelf to fit your displaying or Lego room needs. Then I've got the UCS Imperial Star Destroyer right here. I'm actually toying with the idea of selling this because it takes up so much space and it's so wide and long. And if I had to choose, between the UCS Venator and this, I'd rather go Venator. So we'll see if I end up hanging on to that or not. Do have a couple of posters I got from a printing press that I worked at, which are really cool. And over here, we've got the bathroom. It's kind of a mess right now. I use this as a storage / decaling and Lego cleaning section, so we won't go into there too much, but I really do enjoy having my own bathroom connected to the Lego room where I can do decaling and other stuff as well as clean my Legos. Moving on to this section, we've got the prime display area. This is pretty familiar to you guys. This is where I film my videos. Normally there's a table right here where I do my editing, film stuff. Sometimes I do my decal streams, but I moved it out of the way just for the ease of filming this Lego room. Behind all the sets, we've got the famous box wall. I started doing this back when I first started the channel because I didn't really have any art or sets to decorate the shop behind me, and I really wanted to figure out a way to display my boxes, especially the older ones, which have such cool, unique box art. You've got 2014 right there, 2017, 2013. So it's kind of cool. It's almost like a visual journal or recording of Lego Star Wars over the years. So it's just only continued to grow from there. I'm just very happy with how it's looking. Unfortunately, with the new boxes, the all black ones, it's kind of demotivated me for collecting and keeping the boxes because they all look the same, but I won't get into a box rant now. As far as the display setup goes, this has actually changed quite a bit since the last time you guys saw it, because I've started to incorporate more of my own mocs into the display, because I realized I have a lot of Lego sets on display. I have other people's mocs on display, but I didn't have any or much of my own work. And I felt like, I want to represent myself better. I want to hang on to the projects that I'm proud of and keep them and show people what I can do, almost like a visual portfolio, if you will. And so over the coming months, you're going to see a big change with this. I'm going to start pulling out all the Lego sets and replacing them with mine and other people's mocs. And speaking of mocs, this is the crown jewel of my collection. If I was on the run from a fire and I could only grab one thing, it would probably be this acclimator. I'm working on building a custom little fleet to go with it. I've got an Arc 170 right here. And then I've got a couple of gunships down there, as well as some Jedi starfighters flying around somewhere. But these two shelves are kind of like my prime display area because that's what people see in the shots. So everything else, the smaller sets and mocs that I don't really care as much about being seen, go down here on the bottom. That's why it's so crowded down here, because I just don't really care how it looks. And then up here on the top, we have that same idea, but with the larger sets. So we've got the Christmas X-Wing, police gunship, a shuttle, and then AT-OT and dropship, as well as some cherished Bionicle cases. Normally there's a Brick Vault AT-TE right there, but it is currently being used in the Coruscant mock for a thumbnail. I've also got a microscale mock of the City of Theed, as well as some minifigs. This one unfortunately is a knockoff. If any of you guys haven't seen the video as to why I have one of these, I'll put a link to it at the top of the video. Moving on to the next sector, we've got the last of my display shelves. I wanted to go for a different vibe with this one, a little bit more like stylized and minimalist in nature. I wanted each shelf to kind of hold its own little story, and so starting here at the top, we've got a custom UCS scaled New Class Republic attack shuttle. You guys have probably noticed I have an affinity for large UCS scaled ships and vehicles, so I'm super pumped for that Venator that could be coming later this year. Down here we actually have a chunk of the second Battle of Geonosis mock I built last year. I like to keep sections of my mock built for a couple of reasons. First, it's just nice to have them around, and second, for what I was talking about earlier of starting to display my own custom creations and my own builds instead of just taking them all apart. Down here we've got a little vignette of the Battle of Naboo from The Phantom Menace. This is my all-time favorite Star Wars movie, and actually the first large-scale Lego Star Wars mock I ever did was of this battle, so this is kind of like a little homage to that movie and mock. Down here we've got a chunk of Utapau. This was the smaller landing platform. I repurposed it once again to another little display piece. You can see over time I want to slowly start building up a collection of my large scale and medium scale mock projects to put on display. These are both M5 builds, gunships. I would highly recommend checking them out. Very affordable, very good looking. You can find them on Instagram. Moving on to the closet, nothing too exciting in here, just storage. We've got the remnants of Cato Nemoidia, as well as the remains of my Separatist core ship that I built, and some more shelves. This is where I keep all my clone troopers and other random minifigs. So that's it for like the displaying and set side of things. Now we're going to move into my parts and mock building sector. So this is it. This is the main attraction. The large scale mock that I'm currently building is Coruscant. This is where I build all my giant mocks, and this is why I needed such a big room so I could do big projects. I'm very excited to finish this one up, hopefully within the next month or so. Over here we've got some Acromil storage containers. This is where I keep parts that I don't have in a large quantity. So you've got dark orange slopes here, dark tan plate, and then more dark tan stuff. These are accessories for mocks. And then, pegs and other random stuff. If I don't have a lot of a piece, or I don't plan on getting a lot of a piece, this is where it goes. Then we've got the bulk. Then we've got like the main bulk of the storage right here. So like I said earlier, I store my parts by a combination of piece and color. So if I have a lot of a certain color, like this dark tan tile, it's all dark tan here. This is light bluish gray tile, and then brown brick. I have a lot of these trans light blue cylinders, so there's a bin of just those. But if I have a certain piece that I don't have a lot of in one color, then I just mix them all together like this. This is basically just bent Technic beams of different colors. I don't want to get too much into the parts because, it's not the most exciting thing, but I do have another custom mock right here. This is my Rhino Company AT-TE. This is one of the few non-Lego sections of the Lego room. I actually used to have my desk right here, but as you can see, Coruscant kept growing and got too big, so I had to move the desk over there, which is why I have all of my motivational quotes, my vision statement, and other stuff right here, because it used to be above the desk. It was nice to be able to sit here because I could look out this window or I could look out this window, so I had this great little view. So really sad to have given up this area, but gotta do what you gotta do, right? Over here we've got a smaller chunk of my box wall. This is definitely how I want to decorate my Lego room moving forward. I love it. It reminds me of all the vintage and awesome Lego Star Wars sets I had growing up. The box wall has become very, interconnected with my channel. Up here we've got my picture of Jesus, my Utapau mock, Cato Nemoidia mock, and then of course, you can't be a Lego builder without having your random shape of connected brick separators. This right here is the first Lego Star Wars set I ever bought on eBay. It marked the beginning of many purchases on eBay, but I would love to get this set sealed someday just for the collection. Over here we've got the rest of my bulk storage. You can see here's where all my red and orange parts are. We've got some green brick up here, and then we have another rare non-Lego Star Wars set, the Lego Ideas Treehouse. You OG fans may remember this thing. This is what I used to use to display minifigures and reviews and stuff. I haven't used that in years though. And we've got my tripods right here, and then this little beauty is actually one of Mrs. Coconut's mocks. We got a poly bag a little while back, and she made this with some of those pieces. And that brings us to the final section of the Lego room, my desk. This is like, the logistics section, the adulting section. I've got some decals out right now. I just finished decaling 2 grunts. I'm going to be working on the shock trooper next. Picture of baby coconut right there. And I used to collect ships every time I'd go to Cape Cod, but I didn't this last time around, so unfortunately I broke that streak. And up above it, we've got a poster of just, samurai, virtues of a warrior. I love that kind of stuff. I do also have a Michael Jordan poster over here. This is my favorite quote from him. It talks about how his failures are what drove him to be successful, and I just think that's very helpful, very relevant, to remember that our failures are what help us grow and what help us get to the place that we want to go. Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant are 2 very motivational and inspirational people in my life, so I was very excited to get a poster with one of his quotes on there, and I definitely want to get more of those moving forward. Well, that wraps up the final tour of this Lego room. I'm very, very sad to see it go. I put a lot of time and a lot of effort and sacrifice into this Lego room, and honestly, it sucks to have to be able to pack it up and leave it, but I want to give a heartfelt thank you to all of you guys who donated, who have commented on my videos, who have subscribed, liked, have just supported the channel in general. You are a huge reason why this is what it is today and why it even exists. Without you guys, I wouldn't have made it this far, so I really want to thank you guys for that, and I hope you will stick along for the ride. This definitely isn't the end of Coconut Brick Studios. This is just the end of a chapter and the beginning of a new one. All that being said, don't forget to let me know what you thought about everything down below in the comments. But until next time, happy building.